get knowledge from each other. So just go next, like this. Just next, sorry. Okay, so that's me. I'm meetup host. So I've already some experience with hosting meetups here in Berlin. So I took this one of the blockchain. So I hosted a meetup for over 1 year and a half before the pandemic. It was related to e-commerce, so we have a very large community. Right now I'm taking over this blockchain meetup. So if you want to take a look to myself, like online, if you have doubt about my knowledge or I don't know anything else, you can check out me. So just go to the next. Okay, so we have some space rules. That's so fast. So we have to leave like 21. So that's easy. So you can drink for sure, but wisely. So not much. And another thing. So when we finish the drink, so we can put over there there's cups, so we can put there. So we are not to leave drinks here, the empty bottles. So don't access the private rooms because there are some rooms for office that people work here. So don't get there. There is the toilet there, and you can use it. Okay, so that's the space rules. So go next slide, please. And okay, that's the rules related. I know a lot of rules, but I have to give them to you. So we are not going to promote investments or like advice. So if you have for sure something to talk about with the other guys, it's possible, but please refrain from telling to everyone just put your money there or there because it's not the angle for meetup. So if you like a specific project and you want to talk about a specific project, we can do during the networking or we can do a special session, so that's fine. But it's important that you share your why. So why you like this project, I don't know, you have heard about, you're excited. And so be transparent with the community. I know, they are just rules, but it's it's a world where people put money, effort, so it's better to keep the sense of community and respect for each other. Okay, so we can go next slide. There's no more rules. So today we're gonna start with so intro. We just explained just 2 things, so don't be afraid. So decentralize the world, that's alright. So we talked today about the taxation here in Germany. That's so interesting. I'm not a tax advisor anyway, so I just share with you what I've found about that. So don't take my tax advice because I'm not an accountant. So let's go next. Okay, today in Germany, crypto taxation. So let's go further. Sorry, I just was a slide for the. Okay, so that's a kind of statement. So right now, technology is very accessible. So you can buy software, you can create software, maybe without having so much knowledge. So it's very accessible if compared to 10, 20 years ago. And software is eating the world somehow. So everything you use is software. You use your phone, you use software, whatever you use. And so I think, but that's just what I think is decentralization is the only option. We have to make them the software like more democratic, make it accessible to everyone. So if we keep centralizing, so take a look, for example, to Facebook, the troubles they have with the moderation, or Twitter for a huge example of centralization. I think right now everything is going on the software. So and decentralized is a very big point for us for the society. So let's go next. That's our statement. So just a quick comparison how the world is working right now. So we have for sure centralized organization, like for example companies, they make profit and they make decisions. So you have to talk to your boss, for example, if you work for a company. And the same is for the government and all the stuff, for example, the public transport. You have always the central part that is deciding everything. But with the blockchain, with the software, with this new concept, so we can make decentralization is that there are few groups of people that are just connecting, and so they make decisions. That is how it works. That's how it's supposed to work on the blockchain. So this is for sure more democratic, but at the same time it could be for sure risky at the moment to just put an entire country, like for example the government, in the hands of all the people. Because for some stuff it's hard to make decisions together. But for some other things that works, for example, if we think about the decentralization of organizations, like for example a small company that wants to create something and want to step in with a new technology and they need to make decisions, so they can decentralize the organization. So it's like everyone is cooperating, and so they're building an ecosystem for everyone. So let's go next. So that's just comparison. So when we talk about the blockchain, for sure there are a lot of projects around. So I think newcomers think why there are so much projects, because when you think about blockchain, Bitcoin, so it's the first thing that comes in your mind. But there is so we have a couple of statements here, like why it's better to go on the blockchain projects and why they exist. So decision are spread over multiple people. If we take a look to the existing ecosystem, they are so big. For example, they do metaverse, they do stuff like that. They are very advanced. And so the good decisions are spread over multiple people. For example, comes in my mind like right now they are the NFT, so you can just publish your music or your creation. It's just art. And so you can have money from that, and people decide if you worth or not, if your piece of art worth or not. And so that's interesting because you don't have the label, so you don't have to ask to someone to make money. So another big point that's very interesting is the development is funded by the community. So it's like you don't have one or two outside investors waiting for the return to reinvest. That's so true. With the blockchain project, you have community, so you have a lot of people that are putting small amounts of money. And in some market, this is very disrupting. For example, on the financial side, if you have to send money from, I don't know, one continent to another one continent, so right now you need time. But if you do with the blockchain project, it's like in seconds, and you have like, you are saving money. That's just an example. So you can do a lot of things. That's the reason why blockchain exists, to make like advantage of this technology. Let's go next and thanks. So I'm just listing some popular blockchains. I think Bitcoin is, I think the most well known. Ethereum is, kind of after Bitcoin, and they're already what probably you have heard about smart contracts. They are, it's a set, it's kind of contract that you can change over the time and defines the way you interact with others. When you, for example, send money, what's going to happen? When you receive money, what's going to happen? Or if you want to make in control of an entire company, you can use the smart contract. Binance is quite popular because it's an exchange, but they have their own blockchain. For example, to have low fees when you do trading, etc. So there is Cardano is another interesting project. And so there's more relative news, Breeze network. It's like Binance, but they have low transaction fees. So if you want to take a look, I won't go deeper with that, but they worth a look. They have different, for sure, characteristics, and here it's more new, and then Bitcoin is older. So worth to take a look to the characteristic of every blockchain. So let's go next. So we get into the topic of today. So that's how it looks here in Germany. I don't know if you're a resident here, but it's that's the income tax. I know not everyone loves taxes, and that's why most people go to Dubai. But that's the tax rate. So likely if you don't have much money, of course you don't get into taxes. So that's they are the brackets right now. If you, for example, if you have profits from your job or just your activities, so that's roughly how much you pay if you're single, if you're a couple. So that's just to give you a shot. But most of us just invested in crypto. So the question is, I made profit, so how about the taxation? So let's go next. So just to clear you what's going up. Okay, so I think Germany is quite interesting if you have a crypto portfolio, if you're for sure resident here and you're taxable here. So this is, I think, quite unique in Europe. I'm not pretty sure, but I mean, just 1 year. If you have your crypto, let's say by today, an amount of crypto, and then you wait 1 year, so you don't have tax on that. But we are talking about only holding them, so it's not about trading them. Trading is a different thing. I mean, so you buy them from your euros. Then, for example, you buy Bitcoin and you keep them. So it's holding. So if you hold for 1 year, you don't have taxes. But if you start trading, it's another thing. So this is another point that I think is not for 1 year, but in general. So if you make profits, let's say like, I don't know, like 500 of Bitcoin, then you make like this profit, and then you don't have tax on that profits. It's a bit tricky, so it's still in development and everything, but there are the rules for Germany right now. So let's go deeper with the next slide. Yes, so I think right now most businesses, they're asking if they can accept crypto. That's going to happen. For example, if you want to pay online, or if you go to a store, maybe in your mind start thinking, maybe I can pay with the crypto. So that's our point right now. So you can get paid in crypto, so that's the first thing, so it's possible. And so you can do the mining and staking, so there are kind of activities where you are participating in the ecosystem, and so you are making somehow some money. Selling, for sure, you are selling out them, so to get some money back. Swap or spend crypto, and so if you have less than 1 year, it's the rules of before. So basically, in our society, in this country, we can use crypto. So that's, I think, a big point. And staking is like you block this crypto, and then you keep them, then you can make some money from them. And so if you sell within 1 year, so you pay the income tax. So I think that sounds pretty fair, because if you get paid, if you're making some profits, etc., it's fine. But if you just hold that for more than 1 year, you don't pay taxes. So I think that's very fair legal framework, in my opinion. So let's go on the next slide. Yes, so you won't pay, so you're gonna pay taxes when you buy crypto in fiat. It makes sense, because you want to just buy, so it's just changing the currency. It's like you come from euro to Bitcoin, and when you are just holding them, like you keep in your portfolio, that's fine. So if you sign up in an exchange, like for example Binance, and you buy with your credit card, it's fine. So you don't have to pay taxes, anything. You can move crypto between wallets. For example, if you have more than one wallet, so you can move easily, so you can send. So I don't know why they did this, but it's, I don't know how you can say if you're gifting the crypto or not. That's interesting, by the way. So under 20,000, let's say you're doing a gift. I don't know if that's possible for relatives only or for friends, I don't know. It's an interesting rule. For sure, if you are donating crypto to charity, that makes sense. So that's how it looks in Germany for the taxation. For sure, there are other places that are pretty popular, like for example Dubai. I mean, but if you live here, that's fine. You like Europe, I think Germany is quite interesting country for the taxation part. So if you take a look, because the slides are provided by Coinly, so it's a website, I'm not affiliated with them, just took the slides. If you take a look at the website, they help you, for example, with filling the form for the tax authorities here. So you can connect everything, like for example, if you have money in an exchange, so you connect everything and then you can send it to the Finanzamt. So you are settled, because it's very complex, especially for example if you do trading, you have to give them everything, like when you sell, when you buy, so it could be very complex. So with a software like that, There are more for sure. It's kind of software. You can connect everything. They took the balances of the transactions you did, and then they autofill this form. For sure, if you have large money, it's better to find a specialized tax accountant here that can drive you on that. So I think we are approaching the end to the networking. So let's go next. I think we are fine. Okay. So it's just it's just setting the topic for us today, but you can go on the topics. So the things that we do now, it's like if you have questions ready to meet up or me or generate questions, we can make them, and then we do the introduction like every time. So you, for example, you say your name, what you're looking for, so you can be broader or not. It's just helping you to connect and talk with the right people. For example, you say, I work on blockchain, I'm looking for someone to help me with this project. I don't know. It can just be generic, you don't have to need your surname, where you work, so it's just you do networking. So, well, if you have questions ready to today, the meetup or the topic I talk to me, so we can make it. Otherwise, we can go straight to the introduction, so it's up to you. Just raise your hand if you have questions.
Have you done your tax declare? Have you done your tax on crypto already in Germany?
No, because I'm keeping the crypto, so I don't need it. So I don't do trading. But if you do trading, you have to do. So it's like I have my portfolio and just keep them, so you don't need.
You mean you just bought crypto and then just leave it be?
It's
like
fine.
you don't
You
do
don't
any
need-
transactions swap or nothing stacking, nothing?
You don't need to do anything if you don't do anything. It's fine. You can take. If you do trading, if you do the stuff we're talking about, and making profits, and you want to cash out, you have to do the tax declaration. So that's what I know so far.
Thank you.
If there is another question, or we can start with the intros. Okay, let's go with the networking part, that's fine. Okay, you can start, so saying your name and what you're looking for, just broader.
I am Francesco, and I do I start maybe 1 year ago or 1 year and a half ago to exchange with the crypto, and I like it to explore more. And about taxation, I don't I think it was more than 600 euros.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to know it's 600 euros. Yeah.
I think it's 800 euros.
Yeah, 802 euros. I know.
That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah.
Is it part of the income tax? No, like I don't know how to call it in English, but like in general, if you make any investment, you have cap of 800.
I think
Is
it's
it
like
included?
It's
that's
tax
included.
tax
The same
free
as
is
stock
801
market.
euros. I know. In investment.
Sorry, I mean, I just wanted to ask, because I know that it seems like some new laws came out like this week.
Yeah, that changes
This is-
money.
Yeah?
10 year staking period, right? No?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
this
think
is
the
like maybe-
FDP, like German party, changed something.
Yeah.
Because if you stake Ethereum, I think you can now earn income, and if you stake Ethereum or stake Cosmos or do something like that, that was usually like at 10 years, you have to hold it for 10 years. But now they changed it, I think.
I
Something
think they changed it
yeah.
to like 1 year. I'm not
Exactly,
sure.
yeah.
I think, because I kind of, came across this article. I don't know. I don't know what would be like the good place to share this, but I mean,
Yeah, it's your
called like, I mean, there's this guy on YouTube that I kind of follow, and then he kind of posted it. I was trying to, but maybe,
like staking period, 10 years or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
But I think like if you made a profit over 800 euros, doesn't matter whether it's from crypto or from stock market, you start to pay taxes. But if it's less than 800 euro, it's okay, it's fine. You don't pay taxes on that profit.
Yeah, let's
That's
continue
If you
with the
win
introduction. Then we
less than 800 euros.
Then we just continue the conversation. So we just go. You are the next person to say.
My name is Pacey. I'm a Taiwanese. Well, in case I'm being seen as a Chinese, and I currently work in marketing for a tech company. But I know nothing about tech, but I have been working for tech companies for a long time, and I also have some crypto holdings currently looking terribly in terms of portfolio.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm here is, to make friends who are also interested in the same topic, because I have this orientation that maybe in the longer term I want to work for a startup, and then
Okay.
I think this is like Web 3.0 is quite interesting area.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm a fair, and I'm an engineer in automation, but developing my IT skills, and that's why I want to get involved in blockchain and to learn how does it function and how does it work, and start like to develop myself in that role too, which is I'm gonna integrate also my work. So I'm not so far from IT, but I want to make that skills a bit more better.
Hi, I'm Mauro. I have nothing to do with tech because I'm working in something else. Like I work for an agency in Berlin that they rent the places from the Stadt, and they rent it for other small companies to make events. And I'm here because I got some friends in Italy. They started to do. That's why I'm here, because I want to ask about it, because it looks like Ponzi system, but I'm not sure. And they started like for 2 years ago, and they rent mining machines, and you pay like you can start with package like 500 or 1,500, like, and you rent a part of a mining machine, and then you get every month yeah, from a crypto. I didn't hear about something like that in Germany, but I know that in Italy started like for 2 years ago. I want to ask if did you hear about something like
Yeah,
this
I think after the introduction we can.
and how we can trust this companies. I mean, if you want to start to invest with this company, how you can trust it, because
Well, always you have to look about the company. It's like, for example, you have the company registry, and so you can take a look to the directors, for example, if they have any problems already. So that's, for example, kind of due diligence when you do. So that's, I think.
yeah, the problem is sometimes they got a good
In the paper, I know. But that's how it
Still
works
make-
in general with life. I mean, you need to trust your feelings. You started the discussion telling that you are afraid that could be a Ponzi scheme. So probably you're right. So that's another thing to consider. Because if you're already afraid to do the investment, that's not a good signal. But it's you. I mean, it's like.
yeah, sometimes work for 1 year, 2 years, and then you hear up.
Simple rule: if you can't speak to somebody, you might trust him. If you're speaking to a machine, be careful.
No, the problem are friends too, you know. It's not anybody. Like some friends, I know them like for 10 years ago, and they are inside, and they say, don't worry about it, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
But what I think
so be careful.
What cryptos that you know?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then
And
how,
the company is like in Rusland. That's the
Big case, right?
Especially now.
Well, make sure that the German
Yeah, that's
secret
right.
service don't come and knock your door, okay?
but they started it was like for 2 years ago, and I don't know if they still do it now. Who knows?
We can have a look later. It's fine.
My name is Paul. I'm visiting from Munich. I work in tech sales in Munich, so I'm just here for the weekend and we thought we would visit for a full meetup.
Thanks.
Have a cool time.
Moved from Munich 2 weeks ago.
Ah, nice, nice. Okay, that's all later. So,
But, yeah, okay.
so yeah, happy to be here and just getting to know some people, learning new stuff. So
That's good.
that's my thanks.
Yeah, hi, I'm Manuel. I'm also from Munich. I'm the co-founder of Multiform. We build dashboards for DeFi protocols and DAOs, so
Mhm.
like for Olympus, Redemptive Cartel, Alchemax, and some others, and looking for like new partners to partner with and build dashboards. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm Yakub. I work as a data scientist. I got into crypto like late 2020. And yeah, been learning and learning about.
I'm Austin. I have a math background. I like zero knowledge proofs. Visiting from California.
I'm Julius. I just moved here and yeah, I'm interested in blockchain.
Okay. Then you're in the right place.
I'm Paolo. I live here in Berlin. I work as a SEO and digital marketer. And I'm a small investor myself in my free time, so I just wanted to get some more knowledge and more insights about the topic.
That's good.
How about
Okay.
you?
I'm Salvatore, so I've founded a company. It's ready marketplace. It's called Shopee, and so we made a crypto token to tokenize the business model of the company. So it's like we are decentralizing the company step by step. So the reason is why in general marketing today it's on the hands of Facebook, Google. So in the end you have to plan a budget for them. So I think that's not fair anymore. So there are a lot of good projects that I meet, and so they are doing the same. So like try to decentralize. So it's a tricky process because you have to trust the community, you have to build the community, you have to keep them updated. So that's what I do at the moment. And so I just take over this blockchain meetup to connect with people like that. They share the same vision about the future. Because I think we need good projects, we need good companies, we need to build great products. But right now, with the market in this condition, for most investors, traditional one, it's not easy. So most good stuff, they are not funded. So I think blockchain could be the answer. So that's what I think. Yeah. And so we are all here to find synergies. You know.
Sorry, what's the name of this project?
So it's Shopee Coin. So you can find on CoinMarketCap. It's not that big yet. So it's not an investment advice by me.
Because I mean, like, I was going to ask more questions around like tokenomics.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that. I mean, my experience about that is for sure you can set up your tokenomics and you can add taxes to fund the wallets if you want to do marketing, or for example, if you want to build a reward pool for people or staking. But the point is, everything today is abusive. It's like you have projects, they give you reward. So I think in the end you don't have a real use case for what you're investing on. And so the challenge I think for most projects is to find a real use case in the real world, try to reach out the mass, because today most projects are just like, you know, for example, the meme coin, so I don't see the point. Maybe Elon Musk, yes, with Dogecoin, but in the end, there is no real scenario. So
Yeah.
I think we need to just put them on inside the company or some processes to make a balance between making the transactions and doing something So that's a very tricky way of doing that stuff. It's kind of subtle. So recently we had this crash of Luna, so that's yesterday, and so it's a good project. But I think it's still young in general. So I think we are all pioneers right now because it's like a new thing. It's like internet 20 years ago. So that's what I think. We have to build trust for people because a lot of people are afraid to just put money inside the project. So I think a meetup could be helpful for that. Because, for example, you have this project. I think in general, that's my opinion, memberships or everything looking like that, like you have to buy plans. So
Your computer is dying.
yeah, it's
Trying out the button.
he did the job, so yeah, it's okay. So I think when you have to buy something like subscription to invest, I think it's not a real investment. So you are funding something. So the reason why they hide that on memberships is because no one can complain about that. It's like my friend told me to enter that, I read the membership, it's fine. But it's not the real way of how investment work. You should do, as we say, the due diligence of the project, like going further with the company, who's behind the company, their balance sheet, for example, if they made money or not, if they have assets, everything. Because they can just disappear tomorrow and that's it. So it could happen with other things. But I mean, in general, when you go for a project, for example, like Cardano, I think it's a serious project because they build up a big network. So there are real things, you know. It's like you are buying for sure the crypto, but after you just notice the project, you did the due diligence. So I think that's true for almost everything. The only problem is right now all the projects over the blockchain. You can. They are not regulated in a real sense, like real companies. So if they make mistakes, they can say, I made a mistake. So that's what it's scamming you. It's like a mistake, it's a new technology. This happens so often. And so, for example, for the people that invest in this project, the Terra Foundation from Luna, they lost a lot of money. And so the government can help you. So this up, for example, if you buy stocks, etc., so you have some sort of relief because it's traditional market, but on that you lose everything. So this is the golden rule of not invest more than you can afford to lose. But in this case, the project was good, so I think on YouTube you find better explanation how things went. But this reminds us that's how it works in this world. So personally, I try to support projects, like buying for supporting. So if I can make profits, it's good, but I mean, it's kind of be impactful on the community. So that's the sense of the blockchain. So most people, they for sure want to join to make speculation. That's okay, but that's not the real point for the blockchain. It's about to build up communities, build up good projects. So that's what I think so far.
How did what made you want to start your own thing or project?
Well, I had already the company, but the problem is that today, as I said, if you want to do like marketing or involve more people, so if you build a token on top of that, so you're doing the tokenization. So it's kind of converting the traditional projects into rewarding of tokens. For example, right now I can pay my developers via the token, for example. For them it's still money. So I send them the token and they work. So you don't have to do the wire transfer anymore. So that's a process. You can, for example, tell to people, if you do this action, like for example, if you do some marketing, like inviting your friends, so you can do rewarding to them via this token. So you are just increasing your odds to reach more people, and so you have to stress less for the overall strategy of the company. There are people inside the project, they are older, so they wake up in the morning and they try to prepare the projects. So I think that's a big point. We will see more companies try to rely on that for some processes. So it's a tricky process, by the way, because there are some regulations. Yeah, a lot of things.
Are you guys working here?
No, I don't work. I don't work here. So
Do you mean work here?
Are you on your regular basis in the co-working space?
In what?
In the co-working space here? Yeah, in this
No, I work for another company. I guess they just lease this space for just co-work like better.
It's a kind of free space for people. I mean, it's cheap if you work here, but I don't work here in the sense that I stay here. It's just having the space here because they promote blockchain in general. So that's how it works. So they are just sponsor us and the drinks as well.
Oh, they sponsor.
They are.
They sponsor anything related to blockchain.
I mean, for sure you need to bring something on the table, like I want to talk about that, have the meetup, some stuff before sponsoring you, but that's how it works. So I just explained everything. I have an experience with meetups, so I have this plan to talk about that, the format, everything, so they are fine with that. Because for them it's like value, more value. And for sure you discover this place, maybe you buy later, but I don't get any money in that. So okay, that's the point. It's sponsored and that's the deal.
So drinks are for free, which means
Yes.